Hey, you know, there's a lot of things on my mind this morning I want to get off my mind.
Off your chest.
Get off my chest. I've got a lot to say, and I'll get right to it. The first big story of the morning that I must comment on is, okay, they want me to take a couple of phone calls. My producers are, yes, I've turned the show over to my...
directing.
Yes, let me see. Wolfie.
Some important people on the phone.
Yeah, Wolfie, go ahead.
Like Wolfie.
Wolfie, what's up?
How's it going, man?
All right.
I was just kind of curious. I know that you're not a big fan of having certain people as house guests. And let's say that you were forced into having one of these three people for a weekend, and you had to entertain them, have meals with them, and they were just stuck with you for an entire weekend. Who would you choose? Sal Governale, Dan the Song Parody Man, or Scott the Engineer?
Ooh.
Scott the Engineer.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the rationale?
All right. Dan the Song Parody Man, like, he scares me.
Right.
You know, between Artie's story
and his
knives and his tattoos and his whole thing, like, I don't know. I don't know Dan all that well. I love Dan. I love what he does on the show. In fact, I mean, I don't even know if you heard the latest Robin song. I mean, it's brilliant. Dan is a brilliant guy. But I don't know about him being at the house. And then the other one, Sal Governale. Oh. I like Sal a lot, but boy, oh boy, with the stuff that comes out of his mouth, particularly on the wrap-up show.
What did he say now?
Well, I mean, every day it's just whacked out stuff. And, you know, and I got a little insight into him hearing the stories about his father. And, I mean, Sal's really wacky.
Well, even the way he observes you.
Yeah, it would be creepy. Now,
yesterday when he came in, you know, we had the shirts off thing. He was like, Howard, you need to shave.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what guy looks at another guy?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
See, I blocked it out.
Oh, I'm telling you, it creeped me out right away.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you took your shirt off, he started evaluating how your grooming was going.
Well, I know Sal wasn't in the running for this because, I mean, think about it. We forget about this. He fucked himself out of going to your wedding. Like, you know, like, I mean, he's an employee here, and he said such obnoxious things.
Yeah, I mean, that was the real deal. Like, if I was going to have Sal over, I know that in the back of his mind he's saying, Howard wants me to be funny. I'm going to do some weird shit.
What weird messages would he be getting from you that you weren't sending?
Yeah, Sal seems to get secret messages from me that I have nothing to do with.
And that's bad.
Yeah. I mean, true, I do send him secret messages. But
not the ones he's getting.
Not the ones he's getting.
You don't know he was getting any?
But, you know...
Do you still feel that Sal's watching you all the time?
Yeah. It's calmed down a bit, but...
I don't think it has. I think he's just shut up about it.
Yeah, he's not talking about it, stuff that he does.
But Scott the Engineer I've known for many, many years. He's a very down-to-earth guy. In fact, off the air, he shows tremendous judgment. He sends me a lot of articles and things that I use on the air. I use 90% of the things he sends me.
Is that right?
That's true.
Well, there's a revelation.
Yeah. He sends me a lot of stuff that he picks up on the web. I guess he sits there, you know, when he's not staring at the wall, he's staring at the web. And
Thank God for the web. He used to just stare at the wall.
Yeah. Now he found something to do that's actually useful for the show. So he sends me stuff. And it's very on target, things that we've discussed here on the air. And also, believe it or not, that bold bastard can sit down with you and, you know, have a really decent conversation. There are times one-on-one where I've had some actually interesting conversations.
I wish you would call me in when these things are happening.
Let me tell you something, my dear. I don't sit there long. I'm saying I've put in a good 5-10 seconds on these conversations.
Maybe it's a guy thing, because I like talking to Scott, too.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes Scott can be quite comforting. So if I was going to break down...
I'm a raconteur.
Yeah, sometimes I feel good that Scott's on the team. He's also a talented engineer.
I feel good about that.
So it would be Scott the Engineer. But don't get carried away. You're up against Dan the Song Parody Man and Sal Governale.
Shit, I was already making plans for this weekend.
By the way, you've taken off quite a bit of weight, huh?
Yeah, just about 40 pounds.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, thanks.
You're starting to care about yourself, huh?
I do. Well, you know what? After the weight loss contest, I lost a lot of weight. Then I gained it back because of surgery and some medication.
Oh, yeah, you did have surgery.
Like in this past winter, I said, you know what? I feel like crap. I couldn't get around. I was like, you know, huffing and puffing. I'm like, got to do something.
There's something I got to ask you, and I know it's probably a disastrous answer, but whatever happened to that dog you were going to get rid of? I don't hear anything about him.
I love the dog.
Yeah,
the dog
you do.
is fine.
Wow.
We didn't do any surgery yet.
Beth and I were speculating you killed it. we haven't heard.
That's why you don't hear him mentioning.
Well, remember in Psycho, you remember in Psycho, you know, you never hear about the mother anymore for a while. You know, it's like they had the dog, they wanted to get rid of it, but you still have the dog.
We'll sell it for dog meat.
Is the dog actually functioning? And
the dog is fine.
Yes.
We just had her to the vet, and he said, no symptoms, don't do anything.
Right.
For now. When the symptoms become obvious, she's 2 years old.
Right.
So when they become obvious, we're going to do whatever we have to do.
Are you glad you kept the dog?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, of course.
You're not thrilled, but...
I mean, she's a handful for a golden. She's still a handful.
Right.
She's very, playful, as they like to say.
Well, listen, that's you. You got to train the dog.
We've trained her. We had a trainer come in.
With your dynamic personality, I can't see how you can't train a dog.
I forget, like that night I spent at Scott's house, which still is like one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
He had a dog that didn't like him.
Right. Well, no one likes him.
I still have that, the little dog.
But anyway, getting back to it, like Sal, I really like Sal, but it would be weird to hang out with him. I mean, he was upset that I didn't invite him to my daughter's bat mitzvah.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, he was so not. That was such an inappropriate thought, even.
Right.
And he verbalized that to you?
Yeah, he's verbalized it.
He said on the air once.
Yeah, he said it on the air, but more to other people around here. Like, that's when I know he's for real.
You forget that he used to fantasize about what he and Howard would do sitting at home with him and Howard and Beth on the couch watching The Bachelor.
And was really irate that we don't invite him to watch Survivor and things like that.
But it wasn't even Sal and his wife and you and Beth.
Right.
It was Sal and you and Beth.
Listen, Sal's very disturbed. I'm not telling you something here that people don't know. I think Sal knows it, too. Sal's a very disturbed guy. He's a talented guy. I love him on my staff. And, under the right circumstances, I'll go out with him and Richard and hang out because they're like a married couple. But I'll tell you the truth. He's got a lot of demons and a lot of issues. And quite frankly, I don't think it would be healthy to hang around with him all
I
that
don't
much.
think so either. I think it would only go bad.
So between those three, Wolfie, Scott's the most healthy.
Well, thank you.
Okay, yeah, the only reason I thought you might be hesitant about Scott, perhaps he might be counting your money or just get
Well, of course,
jealous.
the jealousy. Listen, I'm not having Scott to my house. You asked me out of those three. I mean, I could tell you a million reasons not to have Scott to your house. But out of those three, Scott would be the man.
The lesser of three evils, so to speak.
Poor Scott's so happy. This is the first positive thing that's been
He
said.
won.
I said,
This is the first thing he's ever won.
That's right.
Out of three maniacs, he won, and he's happy. All right, you look better, and that shows a sign of health.
Thank you.
You know, you
Thank
care
you.
about your appearance. It's good.
I'm trying.
All right, good for you.
Thanks.
All right. Now go shave
I'm a
your
regular
head.
Johnny Dope.
Yeah.
Johnny Dope.
Anyway, so I was saying I probably should take a break first, but let me just get this thought out. Listen to this headline. Bar mitzvah tutor guilty of molestation. Now, I got to tell you something. I'm a bar mitzvah boy. And you take these bar mitzvah lessons. I was tutored in bar mitzvah.
Are you alone with a guy?
Yeah, sometimes. Yes, you are.
Oh.
I had only wished my tutor would have blown me. I'd rather be
Get
blown.
outta here,
I'd rather be
Howard.
blown by an old rabbi than sit there and learn this fucking. This Hebrew.
It would have been so traumatizing to you to look down and see that.
Robin, my rabbi
Going on.
was as heinous as could be. The guy who taught me my Haftorah smelled.
Yeah.
He was. He had big, thick. There were two different ones. I would rather they pulled my pants down and sucked me off than sit there and learn this Hebrew, which I have never used. No one ever taught me how to translate it. It was the biggest waste of my time. Reciting this, what they call a Haftorah in Hebrew, it was like learning Klingon. Learning Klingon would have been more useful because Klingon, at least I could get on the radio and impress you with. I could, say, hey, I'm going to speak Klingon now. You would sit there and go, hey, that's pretty cool. It was a ridiculous thing. I spent years of my life studying this Torah, but not in English, in Hebrew that I don't speak. And to have the dried out, bearded lips of a rabbi wrapped around my cock would have been preferable. And I'm not kidding. And I'm a heteronormative. Listen, I'll kick your ass right now. You call me homosexual.
I think that you are underestimating the trauma of having
blow me
a
right
guy.
now, if you dare.
Unless you've done this and you know you won't be affected by it.
Let me tell you something. I'd rather blow you than try to teach you Hebrew.
Exactly. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So anyway, this bar mitzvah tutor took the stand to deny molesting teens, but he didn't convince a Brooklyn judge who convicted him of sexually abusing two victims. Yona Weinberg, 31, was acquitted of 8 other counts, including a felony, but still faces a 31 count. I wish he would have blown me 31 times, as long as I didn't have to learn that thing.
31, that horny bastard.
I mean, my God in heaven. At least I would have been up to something interesting. There was nothing going on in that room except
Did
this.
they have to-
What does that mean?
But did they have to do that while he was molesting them, or
Yeah, of
did
course.
they get to be quiet?
Well, of course he has to do it while they're molesting because you have to learn it. How people will get wise that he's not really teaching. What does that mean? What use is that to me? I had to learn that song and those words for 2 years with no vowels in these weird letters.
Wow.
And it makes no sense. But a blowjob from the rabbi, okay. At least makes me interesting.
You know why is something going on? People are
Can't
coming.
wait to get to Hebrew school.
If I was his student, I would have begged him to blow me. Do anything to get this boredom over with. He picked the
Might
wrong
not have
student.
taken 2 years to learn it.
That's right. Weinberg, a social worker, was found guilty of molesting one boy in his home and a synagogue ritual bath.
Oh.
I would have loved a bath. And the other in a van and the yeshiva stairwell.
Well, you didn't tell me it was romantic.
That's right. Believe me, you wish a guy would give you a bath. How come these guys are so gentle with young boys? When's the last time a guy bathed you?
Oh, it's been a while.
And it sounds like your teacher never took a bath.
Oh, yeah. You have
He
no
could have
idea.
used the ritual bath himself.
I swear to God. Where's the part of the tape where I talked to my grandfather? Do we have that on here?
I heard that the other day they played it, so it's
No.
around here somewhere.
I wonder if it's at the end of this. I don't know. Oh, it goes on and on. And by the way, I sent this down to my grandfather in Florida. He didn't listen to this.
Right.
He couldn't stand it. It goes on. I can't even.
Yeah, this is no Hotel California.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is impressive to learn that. I mean,
But if they, Robin's right. If they taught me Hotel California, it would have been better. On the guitar.
you know, and in Roman Catholic, we have a confirmation, and God, we just have to learn a different name. My name was Anthony.
Yeah, and then you sit there.
And the act of contrition or something.
My grandfather should have gotten a hold of me and said, "Hey, listen, asshole, why don't you learn how to sing Beatles Blackbird? Then you might make some money."
Like, it really affects you, that song. Like, given those lyrics, just hearing you sing that.
You know, it's
These lyrics don't affect you?
If there's a positive to learning this so-called Haftorah, you can't believe how much you get laid once you learn this. You have no idea how
Women just drop to their knees.
chicks love it. I had a girlfriend when I was 13 who was so fucking hot.
Yeah, you talk about her a lot.
She was insanely hot.
Really?
She was the hottest girl ever.
You have any pictures of her?
Yeah, I do.
I wanna see it.
She was 13 at the time. She had tits bigger than your mother's.
That's big.
Bigger than my mother's.
That's big.
Goddamn
Let's not
right it's
have
big.
you guys drooling over a 13-year-old.
Well, I was 13 at the time.
And my mother's tits. That's a great image.
I'd love to see your mother's tits.
13-year-old with my mother's tits.
But I got to tell you something. My
I
girlfriend.
think you have Artie's mother's tits.
My girlfriend walked in. My girlfriend walked into
Yeah.
that temple.
Right.
She took a look at me on that bimah. It's called a bimah.
What's a bimah?
It's a stage. But oh no, the Jews have to have a special
call
word.
it a bimah.
Oh yeah, everybody's special in the
It's
Jewish
called a
religion.
not get laid.
Are you up there on the bimah?
Oh, look at my boy at the bimah. And she took a look at me and never saw her again. So you tell me what good this thing did me. Mitzrayim. Gadiv Goga. And they filled my head up with such horse shit. They sat and told me that even my mother said, "Your grandfather," my other grandfather who was there.
Right.
This tape was made for the grandfather in Florida who couldn't even fly in for this fucking party because he knew it was horse shit. He was the only one with any brains.
Yeah, he was a smart one.
I
was
don't
like-
think he can even sing.
It was like, Howitle. I would come. Yeah, that was me, little Howard. Howitle, I would come to your bar mitzvah, but it's very cold and I'm old. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll make this tape. I made this fucking tape. And my other grandfather was there. My mother would go, "Your grandfather Stern is going to sit in the front with his book, and he is going to follow every word you say.
Was that supposed to make you feel better?
Yeah, it's pressure now.
He will know if you said the words properly. So I figured, wow, and every word, you could see, I got every word right.
You're enunciating.
But son of a bitch.
Trying Yasmin.
Yasmin. I mean, Yasmin.
That's impressive.
Who knows what?
Your mom's on the phone.
Uh-oh.
What's she got to say?
Well, I don't know.
Hello, Mommy. Mother?
Yes, darling.
How are you, my love?
I'm very good.
What can I do for you?
You know, Howard, you're a big complainer. You really and truly are.
Why would you put me through the hell and torture
Now listen.
of a bunch of smelly old men teaching me this
What the heck were you
crap?
doing that was more important?
What is
Get your brain going.
My brain was going. I was filled with you.
It got up and went.
Your brain was not going. You were busy with the joke books.
Yeah, that was my brain.
Here you were learning something that is very valuable.
Can I be honest? Can we have a serious discussion about this? Mom.
In the long run, you gotta say that the joke books were much more important.
But Mom, looking back on this,
yes,
here is something that you had an influence in. In other words, you encouraged me to do this. And I'm a kid, and I do what you say.
Right.
Why? What? Looking back on it now.
Every other Jewish boy
Yeah.
did the same thing.
And what did you always tell me?
Had a bar mitzvah.
But what did you tell me growing up?
Haftorahs.
What did you tell me growing up? I don't care what the other kids do.
You don't care?
No, you said to me, you don't care what the other children do. In other words, why do you have to follow the crowd?
No.
You see how ridiculous this
You
is.
wanted to be bar mitzvah. I know.
Because you wanted me to.
No, I know kids that weren't bar mitzvah, and you know what?
What happened? They were drug addicts. They turned out like Artie.
I wasn't bar mitzvah.
Artie was not bar mitzvah.
That's true.
I can't hear everybody at once.
All right, Mom, what I'm saying to you is, now in retrospect, because you're pretty evolved now, you see what a huge waste of time it was for 2 years.
No, it was not a waste of time.
What did I get out of it? I got nothing. I hate the whole thing. I hate the whole religion.
Out of the joke books.
Out of the joke books, enjoyment.
That's it. So
I got no enjoyment out of this.
But it also developed his comedy mind.
But what did you get? But what did you get?
Comedy mind.
Yes.
His comedy mind. He was growing a comedy mind.
What do you know about it, Robin?
Whoa.
You don't know anything about
But
it.
Mom,
I sit here and listen to him every day.
I don't even want this to turn into a joke. I'm saying to you, what did you get out of this?
What did I get out of
Yeah.
it? Nothing.
Right. So what did I get out of it?
You learned
Tell me.
to read Hebrew.
What good is it? I don't even understand what it means. It's like learning Klingon.
Well, then you should have furthered your education. But
Why?
you chose not to.
The hell do I care about speaking? There's nobody here. You can Spanish. I understand. That I could use. Hebrew.
Hebrew is a viable language. It's being used
But
today.
you sent me to a temple that didn't even translate. They just read the dumb words.
All right, so
the
you
words are
learned to
meaningless.
read. So you learned to read. You learned
The whole thing was
to use
ridiculous.
your brain and cut
Brain.
down, Howard.
Use your brain.
There are
Use your
there
brain.
are-
That's like using your brain to do nothing.
Listen, watch your words. Your words are important.
I'm watching my
I don't think
words.
you should be making fun of this. I
The-
really and truly
Making
don't.
fun.
That's right.
I'm trying to save some other poor bastard from this.
achieved something, and it was a very, very beautiful thing, and you learned something, and I don't think you should be poking fun at
It is bizarre.
Bizarre.
And shame on you. You should have known better.
on me.
Shame.
Oh.
I denounce my bar mitzvah.
Your children learn the same thing.
Not true. Not
That's
true.
true. And you...
Not because of me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. I told my daughters last night this is all nonsense.
Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now, my
for
kids are
saying
super
that.
Jewy, too. They love the Jewish religion.
Be ashamed of yourself for saying
But,
that, because that's not so. And I think that...
I wish my name was Savage. Mom, I don't believe what you're saying either. Because you know what? My mother has confessed to me. Now, I'm going to tell you something. My mother's not being totally honest here.
Why?
My mother confessed to me that she gets more spirituality and religious feeling from transcendental meditation and the teachings of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Instead of, she said that temple's boring. She told me.
And she can't speak Hindu.
Your Haftorah.
What?
That has nothing to do with your
It was 2 years of wasted time. You should have taught me chess. I should have had a tutor for chess.
Listen,
I should have had
More joke books.
more joke books, and you threw out my joke books, and that wasn't right.
Howard, you weren't too much into the learning situation.
I didn't like
face
learning.
it.
That's right.
And
But
now
chess
you're
I
a
like.
big shot, and I think
Big
you
shot.
should
Oh, I'm a
look
big shot,
back
am I?
on having a bar mitzvah as a wonderful incident.
It was
in your
horrible.
life.
My girlfriend left me. It was
Your
horrible.
girlfriend left you. What
Yeah,
girlfriend?
Irene. You remember Irene with the big tits?
Irene, yes, that was some girlfriend.
That Irene had some titties.
What was wrong with Irene?
My mother was jealous.
There
She had
was
bigger tits than my mother.
nothing wrong with it, but he was a little boy. He was 13 years old with a girl. Did you ever hear us anything?
Oh, you didn't like that?
Ridiculous.
I needed some comfort.
A comfort.
Do you know her
Suck
breasts?
your thumb.
Her breasts were as big as yours, and she was 13.
Howard.
She was all mine till that bar mitzvah, and that girl she head fuzzy hills.
What did you know about girlfriends at 13?
Nothing. No help from you. I was putting it in the wrong end. I didn't even know anything.
You should be saying wonderful things about your bar mitzvah.
I hated it.
Oh,
I
you
hated
loved
learning it. I
You
didn't
don't
like the
remember
school.
how you enjoyed your bar mitzvah.
It was a
You
waste.
liked your bar mitzvah. You liked
the
the party.
I liked.
He liked the party, yes.
And I'll bet,
It
you know,
was
I made that tape of my bar mitzvah for your father.
Yes.
And I bet you he never even listened to the tape.
That's not true.
Who could sit through that boring? Your father was an enlightened man. He was smart.
My father was very, very proud of you when you sent that down.
Goddamn right. He said, boy,
Cut it out,
thank God he didn't make me go. He sent me a tape. That kid's aces.
That is a nice thing.
Yeah,
Listen,
you're a big complaint.
I loved your father more than you would ever even know.
That's right.
But
And you loved your bar mitzvah.
notice he didn't come to my bar mitzvah because he had brains.
Stop it.
You're going to listen to that little dope sing that song. And that song, by the way, goes on and on and on. I must have bored everyone in that temple.
It's a beautiful
When do you
song.
get to the chorus?
Mom, thank God I grew up and I'm out of that house. You putting
What
me through
house?
that. Your house. I'm out of there. I mean, sitting and learning Hebrew for 2 wasted years of my life. It was like, I'd rather go to jail and learn from Muslims.
Leave the house.
I would rather be in jail.
I needed a Derek to get you out of here.
Well,
So stop your complaining and
I want to be emancipated.
say it like it is.
You're trying to get emancipated?
Yeah, Mom, I'm going to a judge. I'm getting emancipated from you. I'm a man, goddammit.
That's a good idea.
And I'll tell you.
All right. Listen, Howard. Say nice things. Don't say negative.
I'm going to say something nice about you. How's that?
All right. Let's hear.
I love you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You're my
That's
mommy.
Beautiful. I needed that today.
Look how my mommy has all her marbles. She's 80. How old are you now? You 80 yet?
Yes, I'm 80.
You're 80. And look how she's got the marbles.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
She got the marbles. You know why? Because she locks herself up in the house. And I'm not making a joke.
Look,
That's
don't be
not
ridiculous.
true.
It's
I'm
not
telling you.
locking herself up in the
My
house.
mother doesn't move herself. She stays still. She puts herself in no danger.
Stop
That's
it.
right.
My mother, it stays locked up. There's no
Locked up in
adventure
the
there. But she's in good health, and thank God. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Yeah.
You're my mommy. I mean, how can I stop
And
thanking
I don't
you?
want to hear that negative
I
talk,
can't
Howard.
thank you enough for putting me through years of religious training. It
I
was
thought
not.
it was years and years. Now you're saying it was only 2 years?
No, 2 years for the Haftorah.
Gracefully.
Excuse me. 2 years for the Haftorah. You start learning this bullshit when you're like 6.
Oh, dear.
She put me into school.
Awful thing to say.
With those teachers and those children in the disgusting rooms. And it
That's an awful thing you're saying.
It was
and
horrible.
I think you should be aware of
was
that.
a huge waste of time. A huge waste of time.
Anything that
Huge.
you learn, any knowledge that you get is very, very valuable.
Then
and
don't-
you have this knowledge to complain
What would
about
I do with
it.
this knowledge?
And
Trigonometry makes more sense.
What?
It makes no sense. You gave me knowledge that's meaningless. There's no
Well,
knowledge even. There's
in the
nothing.
meantime-
There's no comprehension.
In the meantime, you did it, and you can say that you did it, and now you can be a big shot and say it was.
It was worthless.
Yeah.
I'll
But
say it
was.
again.
It was not worth
It was horrible, and it was a waste of time. And I can't even believe what you're saying.
Well,
And
I
stop
can't
it.
believe what
And if
you're
you have more
saying.
children, don't put them through this.
Oh, my God.
You're not pregnant, are you?
Wouldn't you love to have a little brother?
You know what I wish? You know what I wish, Mom? I
Yes.
wish Fred would build me a time machine, and we could go back. Because Fred's the only one capable of building a time
Well,
machine.
maybe
Oh,
Fred
this
will do that
crew,
for you.
And we could go back.
I've got my Swiss Army knife ready.
You want to know what this song is good for? I'm going to play a little bit of it, Mom, and I'm going to tell you.
Howard,
No,
I don't want you to do that.
no, listen.
I don't want you to do that.
Listen to this.
You
You know what that song's good for? Attracting Arab terrorists. There they are. They hear that song, they want to blow my ass
They
up.
make you an easy target.
They're not kidding. It's terrorist bait.
Well, I want to tell you that you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I love you, and that's
and
what...
at least you know that it's wrong.
I don't know that that's wrong.
Oh, it is wrong.
I don't want other children
it's
having to
very
do those.
wrong. Those are very sacred words.
The words might be sacred, but how would I know? I don't know the translation.
Well, then go and learn.
Do you know the Let me ask you something, because you're a genius, too.
Translation, but if I wanted to, I would go and learn.
Why don't you go learn? You made me go learn.
You're the one who's complaining, not me.
You made me go learn. Why don't you learn? Why don't you put yourself through this? I would respect that.
Howard.
Put your money where you... Put that in your pipe and smoke.
I didn't have the opportunity to do that, but you did, and it was a very beautiful part of your life.
You see, when I was a little boy, Robin, I didn't have the balls to stand up to my
You were
mother.
a little boy with a girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend, and let me tell you something.
1 minute you're the little boy, the next minute you got the girlfriend.
And let me tell you something with that girlfriend. You left the house, and I tried to get it on with her, and I read that marriage manual that you and Dad had.
Oh, and that was good information, right?
It was called On Your Wedding Night. Remember that?
I remember that.
Dad had to study what to do to you on his wedding night. Good Lord, I read that book. I said, my poor mother. I can't even believe it. On Your Wedding, it would get one chapter on kissing, one chapter on feeling the boobs.
A chapter on
A chapter on putting the finger in.
It's important.
Another chapter
Oh,
on...
Howard, cut it out.
It's true. Dad had to read a manual to figure out what to do with you.
All right.
All right.
Keep in mind what I said. I love you very much.
I love you, Mother. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the rest of your year. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I love her. How can you not love that voice?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't believe she put down the
Oh, Robin.
the joke books.
Oh, Robin. The joke books. Oh my God, that thing, and then at the end I had to give a special message to Grandpa. Lucky Grandpa who didn't have to be at my bar mitzvah.
Dear Grandma and Grandpa, I hoped you liked my Haftorah. We miss you both at the bar.
I sound like a prisoner of war.
Did somebody write this out for you?
I don't know. I was very professional.
You sound like Papillon.
Mitzvah, and a lot of people were asking for you. I want to thank you for the lovely gift and cufflinks. They were very pretty. I'll always wear them wherever I go.
Yeah, like there's a lot of need for it. You know how many 13-year-olds wear cufflinks? I wear that with my underwear and my T-shirt.
Now I need some cuffs.
Yeah. Should have been, dear Grandpa, you should see my girlfriend's tits. They're bigger than my mom's.
You missed my girlfriend's.
Yeah. I wish I could fuck her, but my dick's too small.
My mother will be up to see you soon, and she'll tell you all about the bar mitzvah. I hope to see you soon, and we all miss you a lot.
Good Lord Almighty.
How sweet.
Very sweet. You know, I'll tell you. I lost that girlfriend over those Jewish words.
You really believe she left because of your singing?
Do you think my mother really doesn't understand that that was a waste of time?
I'm sure she believes in the tradition, and she thinks that's very important.
Then why doesn't she learn those words?
She didn't have the opportunity. You heard that. You know, you want to get into it? How she was moved from house to house?
Listen, I had no chance to go to a temple. My mother died when I was 9. My father wouldn't even send us to a temple. Look at the opportunities you have. And by the way, when you contact your grandmother to read this note to her, remember, her entire family was wiped out by the Germans.
Oh.
After
I
they
had
ended.
one pair of underwear.
One pair of underwear.
How
It's
could
the big
she go
shot.
to the temple?
You hear my mother go, yo, now you're a big shot.
It's the big shot. That's
Yeah.
great.
Thank God I'm a big shot.
Exactly.
Give me something, God.
You raised the big shot.
Give me something. Even that she wants to take away from me. You're a big shot.
Mr. Big Shot.
Mr. Big Shot.
Look at you.
Passive aggressive. See what I mean, man? It all happens. It's all angry. It's all angry
I'm in
stuff.
therapy now too, brother. I'm
Good.
learning.
Get in there, man. As much as you can. Get in there.
Dear Grandma and Grandpa, I hoped you liked my Haftorah. We miss you both at the bar mitzvah, and a lot of people were asking for you.
Nobody asked for them.
Why
It was
did
a
you
lie. I
Why
lied.
did you lie?
Well, what am I going to say? Nobody cared that you weren't there?
Where is Saul? That was
he's gone.
And that was the one you loved a lot.
I loved him.
Right.
I loved him because he didn't come to my bar mitzvah. Watch my humiliation. Now you're a big shot with 10 pair of underwear. I had one.
So, Scott, this is a big day for you, man. Howard picked you over Sal and Dan.
I don't know whether that's good or bad, but...
Were you surprised?
I was surprised. I mean, considering the other two opponents, it's hard to lose to them. I mean, you know, we're all in a class by ourselves, I think. I mean, you know, but I'm honored that he would pick me to invite over those guys, but I think they might be at the bottom of the barrel, so I'm just like third up the line. I mean, that's in case no one else is alive. I would imagine that I would be invited, but it was nice of him.
But in reality, do you think you're ever going to be invited to his house?
In reality, no. I think that I will never see the inside of, or the outside, for that matter, or even know the address of that house.
Sal,
What?
Howard didn't pick you. You upset?
And I wouldn't pick Howard. How about that?
Yeah,
I don't want
right.
a guy in my house who wants to watch The Bachelorette, who wants to play chess, who wants to talk about cell phones. I don't want you in my house. How about that? You're not invited to my place. My place where we drink beer, we cook meat on a grill, we act like men, we have fun, we watch pee videos. So you know what? Go ahead. Invite whoever the hell you want. Invite Bad Breath Zapin. Invite Fafa Flunky there, Babbling Buoy. And anybody else you want. You're not invited to my house. How about them apples, Stern? Huh?
I don't buy that for 1 minute.
Me neither. I wish I was there.